Hey, welcome back to SFGMC TV. My name's Mitch Galli, and I am the Associate Artistic Director for the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. And you are watching Lesson 5 of 6 of our new curriculum, Outside Voices. Today's lesson is called Practice Makes Perfect. And the learning objective is that students will perform their piece in front of a partner to continue to revise and improve their performances. Now today you are going to need a partner to work with. So you have two options. You can either work with a parent or a sibling or someone that is inside of your house, or you can call someone virtually, whether it's through Zoom or FaceTime or Instagram or Facebook or however else you may connect with somebody. This could be a classmate, it could be a mentor, it could be anybody who you trust to give you some honest and true feedback. If you don't have a partner yet, please pause this video, go and find someone that you can work with, and then we can continue. Once you have a partner, we will continue with the introduction. Let's read that aloud now. Go! Alright, let's keep moving on. We're now going to head into today's Do Now. For this lesson, you're going to be listening to Sarah Bareilles' song, Brave. Now, you may have heard the song before. If so, fantastic, that's amazing. We absolutely love that song in the chorus, and we actually sing it as a mashup with Cyndi Lauper's True Colors. If you haven't already seen it, check it out on SFGMC TV. But for today's lesson, we are going to ask that you listen to Brave again so that as we head into the discussion questions, the song is still fresh in your ears and you can easily and quickly recall the emotions that it was making you feel as you heard the melody and you listened to the lyrics. Please pause this video now and either search for it through YouTube or on Spotify or iTunes, however you use your music and however you stream your music. Go ahead and do that now. There's also a link provided in the curriculum if you want a direct link to it on YouTube. Pause the video and we will talk after you hear the song. Enjoy listening. Chat soon. Welcome back. Hope that you enjoyed listening to the song. As I said earlier, it is one of the chorus's favorites. So now that you've listened to the song and it's still fresh in your ears, let's take a moment to quickly reflect on what exactly did it make you feel? And then once you think about some of those emotions, think about what was it in the song that made you feel that specific way. Go ahead and pause this video and either have a discussion with someone that's close by to you or someone virtually, or you can just jot it down on a piece of paper. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that you've talked about the emotions that this song has elicited from you, we're going to look a little more into the backstory of why the song was written. If you're looking at your curriculum for Lesson 5, and you're in the Do Now section, the second paragraph has a Wikipedia link. Click that link, and it's going to lead you to an article that talks about the history of the song. You'll see that Brave was written by Sarah Bareilles in collaboration with Jack Antonoff, who's from the band Fun. They wrote this song after living through an experience with a friend who was having a hard time coming out. This song was written as a response to help give that person strength and courage and bravery to live their most authentic life and to be their true selves. That's one of the beauties of this song, is that you may not have known that backstory, but you as a listener could still connect to the messaging that Sarah Bareilles was singing about. That's a goal that you definitely want to strive for in telling your own story. As you tell your story, you want it to be told in a way that the audience can relate to it and they can live through your experience and also apply it to their own lives. In the case of Brave, one of the things that Sarah Bareilles said in her interviews that she had afterwards was that there's so much honor and integrity and beauty in being able to be who you are. And she said that she thinks it's important to be brave because doing so gives others permission to also be brave and to be themselves. So, given all of that, that's a lot of pressure, but I know that you're up for the task of telling your story in a way that others can connect to it, relate to it, and also learn something from it, because you are, after all, now an artivist. you are using your art as a form of activism. Let's head into today's lesson. It's time to begin the partner work. So if you're connecting with someone virtually, now's the time to give them a call. If you are working with somebody that's in your house and they're not already in the room with you, go ahead and grab them and bring them into the room so that they can watch you perform and give you some feedback. Now we're going to do this in 6 steps. Step number 1 is first going to be for you to just have someone to observe you, whether that's virtually or in person. Step number 2 will be for you to actually perform your performance art piece. Now, if you're using a piano or a guitar, make sure you have that readily available as you are going to do the full performance. For step number 3, the person observing you, which in the curriculum we call it a student number 2, they are going to be writing down notes as well as then sharing with you once you finish the performance what the main message was that they took away from what you just performed. After that, for step number 4, you are going to share how well what they said aligns with what you intended to be the meaning, the themes, and the story of your piece. For step number 5, you're going to take a moment to reflect on what you just shared and what was shared with you, and you're going to think about ways that you can alter the lyrics and the narrative to help provide more clarity and make sure that it aligns with the story that you are intending to tell. For step 6, it has you switching the roles and repeating steps 1 through 5. Now, if you're doing this project by yourself and the person who is giving feedback isn't doing the curriculum with you, you can obviously skip number 6. But if the other person on the other side that was providing feedback is in fact completing this curriculum with you, switch roles and you can provide feedback as they do their performance piece. Go ahead and begin step 2 by performing your piece now. Great! Now that you've performed your piece in front of your first live audience, it's time for your person who is observing to give some feedback. They are going to share with you the main message that they took away from your performance. Go ahead and do that now. We're on to step 4, which means that it's now your turn to share how well the message that they took away aligns with what you intended for the theming, the messaging, and the story. Go ahead and share that now. And finally, step 5. It is now your turn to take a moment to reflect on everything that was just shared with you and the person who observed your performance, and talk about and think about the next steps that are needed with lyric changes or narrative changes in your piece in order to make the messaging more clear and concise to what you're intending the audience will receive from it. Go ahead and take a moment to do that now. Great work today. As we start to wrap up today's lesson and look towards the future for next week for our final lesson of the Outside Voices curriculum, I want to first take a moment to thank you for all the work that you've been doing. Second, I want to provide a few tips and pointers for this week as you start completing your homework to make sure that your performance piece is as effective and as powerful as it possibly can be for next week. As you go into the rest of this week and you continue to edit your piece, we suggest that you repeat the steps that you did today, where you have someone observe you perform it, and then they provide feedback on what they took away from the performance, and also maybe if they are an artist themselves, they have some suggestions on ways that you can be performing it to make it more effective. I remind you to continue to look at the rubric and see the 6 different categories in which you will be assessed on, and then also use those to inspire the next steps of your editing. Good luck as you continue to make this a stronger performance piece, and we look forward to seeing you next week as we step through the recording process and ways to post it for the world to hear your true story as an outside voice. Have a wonderful week. Can't wait to see what you produce.